When do the trips to Senegal come in this whole, you know, project? Is that something separate that you do?
That was another space about 20 miles from here.
That's the one that Simone was telling us about.
Yeah, which was an old church.
All right.
Which we resurrected from zero, and that was more to do with agro-educational micro-enterprises in Senegal, West Africa. So we take some micro-enterprise, we turn up and we actually implement that. So it's micro-enterprises. You take some resource from here,
right?
You go there and you set it up.
That's why you drove, because you need to...
We had all the equipment on the truck, yeah. So there were maybe 15 or 20 micro-enterprises, but it's mostly to do with farming. So it's about farming and education. So the model was to build the school on the farm.
So the place is running already?
It was built in 1901.
Okay.
By a guy who was a local builder.
Okay.
And he wanted to bring theatre to the local community. So he ended up building, this was one of the first ones he built, and he ended up building about 12. When he first built this one, it didn't, for the first year, it didn't quite catch on.
Okay.
So next door, he built a smaller version. And he used this one as a rehearsal space for the other ones.
Okay.
So they came here, it's like a big studio, really. So he came here, rehearsed here, and went and performed in all the other ones.
Theater, you mean like drama, like
theater, play, drama, Charlie Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy type of thing.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Comedy as well.
Comedy, sing-along,
yeah,
all that sort of stuff, yeah. So 30, 40, 50, 60, it went down, went up, went down, went up, and then faded because newer premises, newer locations, cinema.
But do you think that people would love to come here in that theater and see like a Kasabian concert, for example? Or...
I think they would. I think they definitely would, yeah. But also, for me, it's not so much about Kasabian. I'm more interested in people that's not had the opportunity that Kasabian has had.
They don't need the opportunity while maybe some kid...
Kasabian don't need opportunity.
Right. But like a kid from this neighborhood...
There's other people that need the opportunity.
But at the same time, you could hire Kasabian to make money.
Not a problem, not a problem. But at the same time, we've got enough local bands that we can play to make money same way. It's not, a case of living off somebody's fame, is it?
Right, definitely.
Don't do fame.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's about developing people. There's enough musicians out there that wish one day they could play like, or not even so much play, I think they can play like that, but they just need the opportunity.
Definitely.
So for me, let's create a space where they can be free to explore their creativity and develop, innit?
Is there already some new band that is coming out of this?
We've got plenty already. We've had bands coming here shooting videos to promote the single or the album. And they're still doing that now. So it's kind of like going back to the idea that the original guy who built it had. You understand me? He wanted to bring theatre for the local community.
This Dario Argento qua.
Fantasma dell'opera.
Motor, sospiriamo.
La forza è con me!
I'll let the rhythm hit 'em.
Gianluca. Com'è microfonare i nostri ospiti? con un termine solo, soffice.
How would you define Unconvention?
So,
it's more of a record label, or?
No, Unconvention is it's a series of events and initiatives that are aimed at independent, grassroots and DIY musicians and people involved in the music industry all around the world. It's an alternative type of music conference, and it's really about showing people how they can do things for themselves, empowering people, showing people how to work together, and talking very much about music in the digital age.
Right.
So we've done 34 events in the past 3 years across 6 continents.
Really?
In 16 different countries. Yeah, I think the ones in South America have been amazing. So in Colombia, and Venezuela, just because they're just, you know, amazing people, really vibrant places, great music scenes, and, you know, really people who really want to make change, you know, so quite revolutionary people.
Right.
So yeah, the events there were just brilliant and crazy and amazing.
We know you've been like all over the world, which we didn't know. We thought it was just restricted to England. But so you've been to Colombia and India?
I've been to Colombia and I went to Uganda. It was the last one that we did overseas, which was quite something. That's a very different music scene from probably what you and I know, yeah.
So what happens in a typical Unconvention event? Is it basically a concert?
Yeah, well, no, the core would be the more the conference side of it. So really what you've usually got, and they vary, but a sort of a 2, 3, 4-day event.
Okay.
Of which the daytime is about talking and meeting and networking, and it's for musicians and for record labels and, you know, a sort of hopefully quite practical advice and a mixture of very experienced people, maybe people just starting out, maybe he's interested that sometimes the more experienced people learn a few things from those who are just... And then on an evening, there would usually be some kind of showcases or gigs from either the local artists or if there's been collaborations.
So you say that people with sometimes the more experience learn from beginners?
Yeah, I think that's...
What did you guys learn from traveling to all these places?
God, that's... I don't know. I think it's really interesting. What's interesting is the similarities as well as the differences.
Right.
You know, and often we'll find that what musicians are trying to find out in the UK or in Europe is pretty much what they try to find out in Africa or South America. It's obviously the context is different.
Is that what's on the table now?
Yeah, this is the festival that we're, Ruth and I are organising.
I love that, a festival of festivals.
Well, we're bringing a collection of festivals together. We've got 14 festivals coming under one roof
playing a festival, and they're all taking a stage. There's 7 venues under one roof in Blackpool, and it's an amazing, beautiful venue.
Location, huh?
Yeah, it's called the Winter Gardens. There's some very famous gigs in the main space. The main space is called Empress Ballroom.
See, this is kind of like the first time, man. Somebody ever does it. Yeah.
It's the first time we're doing it, and it's the first time that anyone's brought a collection of festivals together.
So would there be like a day where all the festivals are intertwined, say, or would it be like one day?
Yeah, well, there's 2 days. And on one day, you'll have 7 festivals taking over each space.
Wow.
So you can go in and you can get a taste of Oya Festival, and then maybe go to Melt Festival, and then you can go to End of the Road, a bit of Electric Elephant. So we're going to programme a full programme of bands inside 7 spaces under one roof for 2 days.
In a tunnel of love, from a tunnel, vuol dire come noi diciamo in Italia tunnel. Inglese dicono tunnel. Tunnel of love! Wow! In questa canzone Mark Knopfler parla di tunnel come tunnel dell'amore. Of love! Tunnel of love!
È anche un po' staglio